Hello, today I'm going to be talking about how Horacio Pagani reimagined the supercar. So let's get started. We're going to go all the way back until 1955, where a baby boy was born to a poor Italian baker in a small town. He had a lot bigger dreams than baking bread all day, though. Little did this boy know he would soon create some of the most elite and fastest cars in the world. Moving on. Horacio Pagani has created the most elite supercar brand by mastering three things: speed, quality, and branding. So let's start with what is a supercar. Also known as an exotic car, it's defined as a high-performance sports car with record-breaking performance in speed, quality, and rarity, which is all things that Horacio Pagani was able to master. And let's go on to a little bit about Horacio Pagani's backstory and his beginnings. So Horacio Pagani took an early interest in engineering while living in Argentina. He immediately felt the rural town he was in would not be adequate for the career he dreamed of. He opened a small shop where he worked at a very young age, gaining valuable experience in craftsmanship. And at the age of 20, Pagani had designed and built his first F3 racer. So Horacio Pagani had a turning point in his career when Lamborghini hired him. He started from sweeping floors at Lamborghini to finally becoming chief engineer. And Horacio's innovative skills were quickly recognized, but even that wasn't enough for Horacio's big dreams. So Horacio Pagani left Lamborghini, and Pagani Automobile Modena was founded by Horacio Pagani in 1992. And the future of supercars was then kickstarted. So reimagining the supercar, Pagani's beginnings. By 1992, by 1992 was when Pagani was started, and by 1999, which was the year I was born, the Pagani Zonda was released at the Geneva Motor Show with a top speed of 185 miles per hour. This was kind of unheard of at the time and super groundbreaking. And then reimagining the supercar, we get into speed, one of the first elements that Horacio Pagani was able to master. The fastest Pagani in the world today is the Pagani Huayra with a top speed of 238 miles per hour, making it one of the fastest cars in the world. And then next, reimagining the supercar, quality. Horacio's next skill that he was able to master is the quality of these cars. While some engineers were driven by money, Horacio was driven by art. His source of inspiration has always been Leonardo da Vinci. And to build a car that is both an engineering marvel and a work of art, the factory of Horacio is described as an artist's studio. One of Horacio's favorite quotes, and the one that he lives by, is plastered all over his museum and anywhere you can find any type of information on him, is art and science can walk together hand in hand, from, of course, Leonardo da Vinci. Horacio Pagani's designs each car in this art studio by hand, where each piece is built to Horacio's vision, then finish off with handing and sign for authentication. When asked how his work compared to something machine-made, Horacio answers, "Behind a handmade object, there is a mind, a head, a brain that must understand how to communicate the information to the hands, and to do this effectively. But there are activities that the machine cannot handle, and that is where we see the beautiful communication of emotion, creativity, and art from the brain to the hands. This step-by-step process outputs the most elite and true quality cars. But the branding behind Pagani's dreams is where Horacio really stands out as the most elite supercar creator." So let's move into a little bit about the branding. Horacio Pagani's branding was the last step that he needed to completely master to become one of the most elite supercar creators. And to give you an idea of how elite and rare these cars are, this line of car that I viewed called the Zonda came out in 1999. And from 1999 to this day only, 140 of these cars have been made. Using Statitia's collected data, I added up all of the total of cars produced yearly it comes to about 1,437,000,000, which means that those that were branded Paganis comes to 0.00000000009%. With less than 200 cars built and sold, this is still one of the most sought after cars. To begin the purchasing process, you must first travel to meet with Horacio Pagani in Italy at his studio. If Horacio then approves your next step, purchasing makes these some of the rarest cars. Coming in at the cheapest option for a Pagani, it's about $2.4 million. And then coming in at the most expensive option for a Pagani, it's $20 million for the Zonda HP Barchetta. As the most expensive car in the world, Barchetta was reserved by Horacio Pagani himself as a present to himself on his 60th birthday. In conclusion, I really want to reiterate that the way Horacio Pagani reimagined the supercar was by mastering speed, quality, and branding to create what we see now today as the most elite supercar brand. Thanks, and I hope you enjoyed your time learning about how Horacio Pagani reimagined the supercar.